Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing very well today. As you guys know, I love to bring you interesting and unusual guitars. Today I've got a guitar that fits in, well, can we call it a gig bag? Sure, we'll call this a gig bag. So what exactly is this guitar? Well, let's open it up and find out. Well, if I didn't know what this guitar was, I would have sworn it got horribly damaged in shipping, but this is the way it is supposed to be. This is the Ciari Ascender. Right, now the first step is simply to, well, unfold the neck. And I never thought I'd be saying that, but here we are. Check it out. It's got two joints in there. The guys from Ciari say, so overbuilt, it will last a lifetime. Yeah, that double jointed neck, it's just fun to do that. It's amazing. And we'll talk about how the strings stay on and all that kind of stuff. And then from there, there's a mechanism right here, very clever. It's just a little lever, just like so. There's the lever. It just sits back on there. There's magnets that hold it all tight. And then you just simply give her one of these. Boom. You ready to play? Let's play. That's it. So there it is, Ciari guitars. This is the Ascender, and yeah, we'll talk about some of the more clever areas that make this all work. And then when you're done, boom, that's it. Was that even 1 second? Was it 2 seconds? I don't know. Anyway, it's insane. So you just hold it, clamp it, there you go. I mean, it's very rare where I want to show the back side of a guitar more than the front, but very clever stuff. So you can see the two magnets right inside there that hold the lever, and then there's another magnet here. I just want to keep folding it and unfolding it on the back of the headstock right there, if the camera will grab it. Another magnet, so when it goes there, it grabs it and, you know, holds everything together. So it's not gonna, like, I can hold it upside down and it's not gonna flop out, right? So pretty clever stuff with the magnet on the back of the headstock and the magnet on the other part. There we go, let's fold it up again. Done. So I'll hit up some of the finer points of how this all works. We'll listen to some tones. I'll link to the guitar in the video description below for full specs, but here are some of the things that really caught my eye. Right, so as for some of the highlights, first things first, I gotta say I love the design of this guitar. I think it looks really, really cool. And from the front, it looks like, yeah, just a really nice electric guitar. You would never guess that it can do what it does. All the actions on the back. It's a little bit of a sleeper, you know, like it looks really, really kind of normal from the front, but a really cool kind of offset design. So I think the body shape, really cool. Now, some of the key things that make this whole thing work is number one, right by the nut, there's a little plastic piece. We'll see if the camera will grab that. And that's really, really important because that keeps the strings in check when you give her one of those, give her one of those. So that plastic piece right by the nut keeps the strings in the nut slot, which is very, very important. There we go, ready to go, when you fold and unfold the guitar. Now on the back side, on the headstock, well, other than the magnet, we've got locking tuners, mahogany neck, you know, feels and plays really great. Just a nice satin feel on that. And of course, then you have your double hinged on the back. There we go. And yeah, like I said, they over-engineered this. They said it'll last a lifetime. One thing I do like though, that if you ever have issues, check it out. Just a basic bolt-on. I think that's a great choice, just in case something ever happens to your neck, you get a ding in it or something happens. You know, it's not a glue-in joint. Bolt-on, just replace it. Now on the front side, we got a set of Seymour Duncan 59s, three-way switch, volume and tone. Pretty basic stuff that, well, is gonna make this guitar sound great. And then on the front side, you've got some roller saddles. Again, just facilitates, right on that bridge there, there's a set of rollers. That helps facilitate everything. And then when you look inside, there's another roller. I'll take a close-up shot and I'll show it from the back. So that roller right there is also, you know, you can see the strings kind of go into that. So that's like on the front side, you don't really notice anything else. If you look closely at the bridge and how it goes into the body, you're like, oh, where's the stop tailpiece? Where's the tailpiece at all? You know, it's in behind there. So let's throw it on the desk, look at the inside mechanism now. All right, you guys, well, here's a look at the backside and how the whole thing works. So here is the big roller. So the strings go from the saddles to the rollers, and from the rollers, they go into this sliding mechanism here, and here's the handle. So the whole thing slides forward and gives you perfect tension on your guitar. And then, of course, when you want to fold it, here's the lever, which, yeah, is so cool. And you can see the whole thing slide, and the strings right there become very, very slack. And then, you know, you go all the way, magnets grab that, and then your neck can fold, as I've shown you guys. And then when you want to, engage it, the whole sliding mechanism comes, pushes forward, and here you can see the block. So it's funny because, like, you know, on a trem guitar or whatever, you have like the big metal block. Well, here there's still a big metal block, and that's the part that really, you know, you can see push forward, boom, locks into place, and now you've got, you know, full tension on those strings, and you're ready to go. So that's really how it all works. I love that they've left it open and they've used this design where you can just reach in and slide back and forth. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that, but it just works. Like, it works really, really well. Really cool. I love even the backside, you know, everything looks cool. I love even the three-way switch cover. I don't know if you guys can see it here. I'll just move it. There you go. Even the three-way switch cover is kind of like stylized and really cool. So I really like that. On the one side, you have the controls. So you've got your volume and tone underneath here. On this side here, they've put a nice cover matching, but it's just empty. So they've chambered this because you've got some metal components in here that, you know, maybe would weigh more. We'll weigh the guitar in a second here, but this is completely hollow under there. So that's how this guitar works, from the headstock all the way to the bridge and everything in between, designed to work seamlessly, you know, to be able to fold it up in like a second. But we want to see how this thing sounds, how it feels to play. My first impressions, you know, plugging it in for the first time and listening to some of the tones. So let's do that now. Let's plug it in, and then we'll talk about my overall thoughts, you know, if I think this whole thing works as a package, all that kind of stuff. We'll do at the final thoughts, but let's plug it in and take a listen. All right, you guys, first tones with the Ciari Ascender. I'm going to start in the neck pickup, completely clean, and then we'll work our way up to some more gain. Let's just try some basic chords here, see what it sounds like. Yeah, really nice, big and warm. I'm going to take some of that treble out, go back to the neck pickup. Let's go to the bridge now, test out the Seymour Duncan 59 back there with a little grit. I know a lot of people will have questions about playing like right over that joint where there's like that double joint right there. On the back, of course, where your thumb is and it switches to metal, you can feel that. But in terms of like, you know, playing right up in there, you know, definitely not. There's like, yeah, you just don't feel it there from the front side, so you can do all those slides and bends right up there. No problem. Let's go back to the bridge there. So here are my final thoughts on the Ciari Ascender. Now, in terms of what the guitar is like to play, how much it weighs, the ergonomics, all that kind of stuff, well, it feels like a normal guitar. You sort of forget until you play like way up here and you can feel a little bit about that joint. We'll talk about that in a second. But in terms of like how the guitar plays, the locking tuners, the Seymour Duncan 59s, everything sounds and plays really good. This one came in at 8.4 pounds. Not too bad considering, you got the whole mechanism in there. 8.4 pounds is very manageable and less than a lot of Les Pauls. So, nothing wrong there. And in terms of like ergonomics and stuff like that, it balances perfectly because you have some of that weight on the body there and the headstock is, nice and slim, shall we say. And the locking tuners don't add too much weight. They're not like super bulky. So that's really great. Now, in terms of what it's like to play, as I mentioned, you've got a mahogany neck, satin, really comfortable profile, really nice to play. And this joint here, you could tell they worked really hard. Like that's completely flush. You can feel it when you come up, to play way up high, but that transition between wood and metal, it's like kind of like RoboCop, some sort of cyborg. You're like, it's all human, and then it's like transitioning into machine. But that joint right there, completely comfortable. You can feel it's there, but there's nothing sharp, there's nothing grabby, there's no giant lip or anything like that. So that transition just between there and here, they worked, you can tell, extremely hard to get that perfect. And considering, that's where the joint is and stuff like that, well done. That's really great. And in terms of like how it feels to play and stuff, if I just hit a harmonic, I don't know if you guys can hear that through my lav mic, but I'm torquing the neck just like I would with any sort of electric, and there's no extra play. There's nothing that feels like, oh, there's, movement there or anything like that. It's completely normal. So in terms of like the tension, when you're bending, when you're harmonicking, torquing, whatever you want to do on a guitar, this feels like a normal guitar. So well done there. And yeah, in terms of like the mechanism, it just works. Like the little guidelines in the fretboard, very, very clever stuff. And the whole mechanism, it just works. Now, as for any potential downsides or areas I'd like to see improved on this guitar, the first thing is kind of a blessing and a curse. It's made in the US, which is really great, but that means, of course, there's a price tag that goes with US made guitars. And considering how this is built and all the mechanisms and everything, no play, super heavy duty. It's kind of in the price range of kind of like a Gibson or something like that. So it's not like insane, but it is, an American-made guitar that is very expensive. As for other areas, the fit and finish on this guitar is very, very good. And the neck, which is the main thing, is excellent. And, the only thing I would like to see is, because the back is exposed, and this is obviously doesn't affect how it works or how it plays, but I'd like to see, maybe a little bit more cleaning up in the cavity. You could sort of see it's a little rough in there for an expensive guitar. I'd like to see, maybe some extra sanding done in there and that kind of stuff. Doesn't affect the guitar at all. And same with like where the guitar strings go through the hole. You can see kind of being nitpicky, but like a little rough around that front edge there. I'd like to just see someone take like 10 seconds with a piece of sandpaper, get that perfectly clean, because it is an expensive guitar. So that's kind of nitpicking stuff, but because this is exposed, I'd like to see it, if at all possible. But in terms, like I said, of how the guitar plays and feels and handles, the fretwork is really nice. It's all plecked. So, before it ever reaches your hands, everything has been completely leveled. That's great. So like I said, like the playability on this guitar is really, really good. And that's the main thing. So sounds good, is built like beautifully, like the whole mechanics of it and like just how there's like, anyway, there's no play. Everything is just so stiff. And once it's like latched, it's latched. So really, really great stuff. Innovative, interesting. And like the fact that you can just do this and put it away, put it on an airplane, wherever you're going to go, whatever you're going to do, and then, give her one of those, and ready to go. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Big shout out to Ciari Guitars for sending this one in. ever since I saw that guitar, I've been wanting to get my hands on it and share it with you guys. Such a cool guitar. So big thanks to those guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so. We've got lots of great guitar content lined up for you guys. Other than that, have yourself a great week. Take care.